Well, that's our episode for today. Special thanks to executive producer Allison McLean and to our guests, Adrian Zackheim, Jack Covert, Alan Deutschman, and Erin Arvedlund. And before we go, Laura actually accosted Erin before she could leave the building to record a segment we like to call Laura Asks Serious Business Authors Embarrassing Personal Questions. Enjoy.
So, Erin, we have you here in the sound studio. We thought we would corner you with some uncomfortable personal questions, just to find out a little bit more about the author behind the book.
Sure.
So I'm going to ask you 10 quick-fire questions.
Okay.
And if you could give us just the first thought that comes to mind, we won't judge you on the answer.
Okay.
Yes. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. What's the last book that you read?
The Smartest Guys in the Room.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
We also talk about it in our episodes.
Oh,
That's
great.
Perfect. What's your favorite magazine?
Ooh, either Vanity Fair or Real Simple.
How about your favorite blog? Do you have a favorite blog?
I have a favorite blog. I read a lot of Talking Points Memo. That's one of my favorite blogs because it has a lot of former journalists. I also like I'm Not the Devil, the guy who pretends to be Bernie Madoff.
That sounds entertaining. Yeah. I should check it out.
Okay.
What website, this is kind of similar, what website do you read first thing in the morning?
I read the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times.
Okay. Where do you do your writing?
I have an office in Philadelphia, and I work across the street from my husband's office, so we can meet for lunch sometimes.
What was your first job?
Let's see. My first job for money or my first job for no money? My first job for no money was an internship at Philadelphia Magazine. My first job for money was with Dow Jones Newswires in New York City in 1993.
Wow, cool. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a jockey.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to pause for a second. Really?
Yeah.
Did something happen, like you went through a growth spurt and you're like, oh, I can't do this now?
I wanted to be, I really liked riding horses. I had a little bit of, the rebel in me. And, as a girl, every girl has sort of a fall in love with horses period. Mm-hmm. And I figured, maybe the best way that I could actually earn a living is if I become a jockey. So, but then I decided to, once I got to college, I realized that I could become a writer and actually support myself.
Who do you think is the smartest person in business?
Right now? I would say probably Hank Paulson, the former Goldman Sachs partner who's now the head of the Treasury.
Who is your role model?
There were a lot of women in my professional life who were role models. There was probably one woman in every job I had who I really looked up to. And
always a woman?
My mentors, for the most part, were women. But my bosses were usually men. Mm-hmm. And so a role model, I would say, as a writer, probably someone like Joan Didion. As a person, probably my mom.
All right, and this is our final question, and it gets even a little more personal.
Sure.
So if it takes you a minute, I don't know what my answer would be to this question, but what is your biggest vice?
Ooh. I don't know if I can say that publicly. Let's see, it's either coffee or shoes. I'd have to check with my husband.
Would he have a stronger opinion about this?
He would probably say shoes, but yeah, I'd have to say it was one of those two.
All right. Well, I'm so glad we could wrap up on a more positive note after talking about all of these really depressing things.
Yeah, no kidding.
But thank you so much, and thank you for being so willing to answer our questions.
Thanks for having me.
All right.